Good morning, yogis. Today we're going to move through practice to release any tension we hold into the hips. So I invite you to start seating by placing the soles of the feet together and gently allowing your knees to roll to the side. You can either sit flat on the mat, or if it's really tight for your hips, you can sit on something like a folded blanket. And then from here, either releasing your hands on your thighs or on your ankles. And then start to lengthen the spine all the way up. Notice how your hips feel. So the more you bring your heels towards your hips, the more intense it gets. So if it's too intense, slide your feet a little bit more forward, a little bit like more diamond shape. And let your knees fall to the side, lengthen the spine. Taking a moment, releasing the shoulders and softening through the whole face. Check that you're not rounding through the lower back, but keep pressing your sitting bones down and keep lengthening the spine all the way up. Expanding through the chest. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. Allowing your body to arrive into the space. Starting to breathe with awareness, with intention. Notice how your body feels today exactly into this moment. Focusing especially on the sensation of the pelvis, of the hips. And if the knees are very high, that's fine. Don't bother to release your knees all the way down so they're flat on the ground. Taking a couple of more deep breaths here. And you notice that slowly, breath over breath, you start to create some more space into the hip joint, into the muscle and fascia around the hip. We take 3 more full rounds of breath. Making the in breath longer and deeper. And making the out breath, again, long and deep as well. We take 1 more full breath. And if you happen to have your eyes closed, blink your eyes open. From here, keep the hands on your ankles. So bring your hands on your ankles if they're not there yet. Inhale, start to peel the pelvis forward. Open through the chest, elbow goes back, gazing up. Exhale, round back, peel the pelvis back. Draw your chin in, elbow goes wide and curl. We take 2 more. Inhale, tilting the pelvis forward, opening through the chest, gazing up. Exhale, round back, chin goes in, peel the pelvis backwards, and then breathe into the whole back body. We take 1 more. Inhale, open, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, reaching the arms all the way up, finding length. Keep releasing your knees to the side. Keep reaching the arms all the way up. Exhale, release your hands from the floor. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, maybe allow your hands to walk forward. It doesn't matter how deep you fold, rest your head down. Maybe you're very far away from the floor, that's fine. Keep connecting your feet together, and we take another full deep breath. Maybe you feel your lower back, the other thigh, maybe you feel more your groins. Inhale, walk your hands back. Lengthen the spine. Use your hands to close your knees together and open your feet hip distance. Release your hands back. Slightly arch into the back. And then from here, release your knees towards the left. And then move the gaze towards the right. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. Exhale, knees to the right. Gaze towards the left shoulder. We do it twice more. Inhale, center. Exhale, letting your knees roll to the left. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale to the right, gaze to the left. Inhale, coming back to center. Cross your shin, hands to the floor, and then finding your tabletop pose. Spreading your fingers below, wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. From here, leaning forward and then leaning towards the right. Shifting the weight back like we're taking a child pose, moving the hips towards the left and the shoulder, and then coming back to center. We take twice more this direction. So taking circles, moving through the hips, through the shoulders. One more in this direction. Feel what happens into the back. And then we go to the left. Go left, back, reaching towards the right, and then back forward, taking 2 more. And it's also very good for the wrist. It's a nice stretch for the wrist as you're leaning the weight forward, passing the shoulders and the wrist. Last one. Inhale, finding a neutral spine. Exhale, extend the left leg back. Now bend the knee and then flex the foot. Focusing on your left hip, start to draw a circle with your left knee into the air. You go down, you go left and open, and you go up and back. Go as far as you feel like. Feel the whole range of motion. Taking 1 more, and then we go on the other way around. Keep leaning to both arms. We take 1 more. And then release the left knee down. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Changing side, reaching the right leg back. Bending through the knee, foot facing the sky. And then start to make circle with your right knee. Go down to the right, up and down again. Feeling this side compared to the first one. Feel the glute. And then changing direction, we go on the back to the side and down. Taking 2 more. Last one. And then releasing the knee down. From here, tuck your toes, lean back, and then you bring your heels towards the back of the mat. Release your hands on the floor, spin your hips up, rest your head down, and then keep your feet hip distance, maybe bend your knees a tiny bit, and then rest your belly and your thighs, or belly on your thighs. Hook one hand to the opposite elbow, take a full breath here. Release the arms, bend the knees, slowly roll the spine up, 1 vertebra by the time. Head rising last. Taking a roll of the shoulders forward, up and back. From here, step into the middle of the mat, and then bring your feet hip distance. Tailbone goes down, zip the belly in, and rest the arms alongside the body. From here, leaning the weight to your right, and start to draw your left knee up into the chest. Bring the hands into the heart, and then bend the left leg, hook the left ankle on your right thigh, and then start to bend that right leg, seating the hips backwards. If you feel like you're losing your balance, hold into something, maybe into a chair. Go as far back as you feel, and you want to feel a stretch into the left outer thigh, left glute. Keep the chest open. And we take 1 more full deep breath. Inhale, so just stretch the right leg, draw your left knee up into the chest. And then we release the left foot down, coming back to center. Take a full breath in, and take a full breath out. This time, moving the weight to the left, draw your hands to the heart. Reach the right knee forward and up. And then flex the foot, hook the right ankle on your left thigh. Keep the right knee opening to the side. And then start to sink your hips back and down. And maybe this side feels more tight, so you bend that left leg a little bit less. Keep that space into the chest wide. And keep your breath long and deep. And maybe again, you hook into something, maybe use a chair, you use a wall for balance. We take another full deep breath. Inhale, press into your standing leg. Draw your right knee up into the chest. Exhale, release your right foot down, finding your standing pose. Maybe close your eyes for a moment. Feeling the breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Walking at the top of the mat, and then bringing your feet net wide. Keep your toes punching forward first. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, maybe gazing up. Exhale, from the hips, hinging forward, folding over. Variation of Uttanasana. Rest the arms, rest your head for a moment. And then inhale, lengthen halfway. Open your toes out, turn your heels in, and then bend through the knees. We move into Malasana, Yogi Squat. Hook the elbows to the inside of your knees. Release your lower back down, heavy pelvis dropping into the earth. But keep the chest wide and lifted. So try not to curl forward and down, but keep expanding through the heart space. Tap the chin gently in towards the chest. And if you don't reach your heels on the ground, no big deal. Maybe take blocks below the heels. Or widen your stance. We take 2 more full rounds of breath. One more. And then gently, if you have the blocks, take them away. Release your pelvis back and down, and then stretch your legs forward. From here, keep the left leg straight. Bend the right knee, and then hook that right ankle again just above your left knee. Keep the left foot flexed, and then reach the hands to the side of the front leg. Inhale, open. Maybe you hold it, maybe exhale. You start to walk your hands forward, and you rest your head down. Keep pressing into the right sitting bone so you're not floating to the left side of the body. Keep resting your head. Keep releasing your shoulders down. Keep the breath happening into the back of the body. And we take one more full breath. Inhale, walk your hands back. Lift the chest. Exhale, release the right leg, stretch it all the way forward. And then changing side, bend the left leg. Hook the left ankle just above your right knee. Keep the left knee open. It doesn't matter how high is the knee. Flex a foot. And then reach the hands to the side of the front leg. Maybe this side feels different. You hold it here. Or maybe you start walking forward and down. Keep having that left knee pointed to the side. And keep releasing your head and your shoulders down. Taking one more full breath. Inhale, walk your hands back, lift the chest. Exhale, release the left leg, stretch it forward. Take a moment here. And now we're going to close into child pose. So sweeping your feet back, bringing your big toes touching, knees wide apart, and then seat back. So you want to have your knees more or less as wide as the mat. Keep your pelvis resting back, and then start to walk your hands forward, and maybe rest the forehead on the ground. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Resting the whole upper body down and forward. And keep releasing your pelvis all the way back. If the forehead doesn't reach the ground, then it's a good option to release the forehead on a block. Taking 3 more full rounds of breath. Last breath. Inhale, walk your hands back. Push into the earth, roll yourself all the way up. Closing your knees together. And if your knees are low, seat your hips on your heels. Lengthen the spine, taking a moment here, noticing how you feel. And when you're ready, release into pose, finding a seated pose. Cross-legged seat position. Ground your sitting body into the floor, lengthen the spine all the way up. And taking a moment, noticing how your hips feel. Noticing the sensations into the pelvis. Notice if you feel like you're creating more room of motion, freedom into your pelvis to move. Closing the practice by bringing your hands in front of the heart. Taking a moment, thanking yourself for taking this time to move your body with intention. To release some of the tension you've been holding in while sitting. Bow the head to the heart, honoring your inner self. And until next time, namaste.